Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. So today we're doing a matchup between the JPX923 Hot Metal Pro and the JPX923 Forged. Now this is the decision where most people are thinking, well, should I go for the slightly more forgiving cast Hot Metal Pro, or could I get away with the Forged, possibly better looking, better feeling, etc, but possibly less forgiving JPX923 Forged? So we're going to have a little matchup today between the two. Slight differences in tech between the two. I'm not going to go into masses of the tech because obviously I've done 4 reviews of these two on my channel. Go on up there, have a look at one, and I'll put another one up there because obviously 2 golf clubs. Well, I'll go into the tech in absolute detail, but when it comes to the differences mainly between these two irons, the Hot Metal Pro is cast, the Forged is, well, forged. The Hot Metal Pro is made from 4335 nickel chromoly. And then the Forge is made from chromoly in the, I want to say something like 4 to 7 iron or something like that. I'll put the split up on the screen if I can. And then it goes into 1025E. This is 4120 chromoly. So any metallurgist down there who understand exactly what the 4335 and 4120 mean, I'm assuming it's the composition, the percentages of composition between the metals, but again, it doesn't matter. They're made slightly differently. But because the Hot Metal Pro is chromoly 4335 with nickel in it, it has got a faster face. It has got a thinner, more explosive, stronger face than the micro slotted Forged. Now obviously there's different tech in this thing. So this is built for distance, this is built for forgiveness, this is built for firing off it, where this is built for a little bit more forgiveness. Yes, it is when it comes to a forged head, but consistency and sound and stuff like that. So these are the 2 irons where people will be looking at which one can I get away with. Slight difference in tech, but we'll see what difference that makes. Right, let's go get the simulator on. Let's go get on a hole so we can give both of these a hit. Let's go see how they feel when it comes to being hit off the face and how the differences are in looks. Simulator now on. We are at the Farms hole 5. There's a par 3. As you can see, it's a bit of an interesting one. We got trees and everything to go over. Bit of an interesting ravine kind of hole. Anyway, 179 yards. Up 3 feet, yeah, 180 yards basically. Right, and I'm gonna go put up the, which one are we gonna do first? Let's do Hot Metal Pro first. Now, this is 28.5 degrees where the Forged is 30. So we're talking 1.5 degrees. That's it, really, difference between them. Yes, I know they are getting a little bit strong as time goes on. Now, one thing I will say before we go hit these, don't look at my lie angle. These are media samples. The lie angles are really flat. I'm normally 2 upright, so these are coming out some interesting numbers, but we'll still be able to get a chance to see what this thing feels like off the face. So 179 yards, up 3 feet, 180. Let's see how it gets on. Oh, it's not the greatest start. Shall we say it's a wee bit toey. Good delivery, but very toey. Very toey. 13mm toe, yeah, that's very toey. Wow, I just caught that. 1.38 efficiency from 13mm toe, aka half an inch off the middle, and that's 1.38. I don't think the Forge can do a 1.38 efficiency from the middle. Nickel chromoly face, ladies and gents. Nickel chromoly face. I don't know if the microphone picked that up though, but the sound, the more I use JPX 923 Hot Metal Pro and stuff like that, is the sound. I'm used to a game improvement iron, of which this is, making an almighty crack and an explosive pop, or whatever word you want to use down there. But this thing doesn't. This thing makes a pleasant, soft punch, which they're saying, okay, that's that V chassis and the ribs underneath there. I don't know what it is, don't really care to be fair, but it just feels nice from a full-on game improvement iron. Now that was not middle, so I need to do a better job. But if that's gone 180 carry from a not middle, I don't mind at all. Face fractionally open, that's gonna do well to nibble a bit. Of course, more than nibbling a bit. Go on, oh, it's run at the fringe. Missed green, technically. Yeah, face open, there you go. Slightly better delivery, 1.38 efficiency again. See, that's 1.38 efficiency from a 7mm toe. That's fine. 2 open face, 1.8 open. Oh, this golf club is hilariously springy. But I don't know, again, the microphone's picking it up. It doesn't sound like really cracky, punchy. It sounds, I wouldn't say forged, it doesn't sound forged, it doesn't feel forged, but it just does not feel game improvement at all. It feels nice. Most game improvement irons don't feel nice. They're addictive to hit because they're like, ka-chong. But yeah, I mean, this is the Hot Metal Pro, so I mean, you're gonna have the thinnest sole of the lot when it comes to the Hot Metal series. You are going to get the thinnest top lines and stuff like that, but I mean, even when it comes to the top lines and even the sole, they've got their chrome barring out the back, and so it blends into the top and the bottom, so you don't actually see how big the sole is. Of course, blade lengths are smaller and offset is much nicer, hence Hot Metal Pro. Oh, that's a miss. That's a miss. On the bottom of the face. Nearly in. Oh, do you know what? There's two reasons. See, 1.35 efficiency from a low on the face. It's doing really well. One thing that's always put me off when it comes to using game improvement irons. I could never use game improvement irons for a few different reasons. One, the sound they make. I'm not a great fan of the almighty crack they make. And two, I don't like the look of them. They're too big and bulky and nasty. And the bigger something is, actually, I find it hard to control my strike the bigger something is, because my kind of brain goes, it's this big, you can just swing if you want. Where something smaller, my brain focuses more and I can pepper the middle more. And then in case, I just like chrome stuff. But again, this has got better looks. But one more, because I do like hitting this thing, and then we're going to flick over to the from the Hot Metal to the forged. That might be bunker. Be nice, be nice. That's fine. That's more than fine. Woof. Yep. She goes. 139 efficiency again. Look at that. 1.4 across, that's me aiming wrong. 0.4 open, that's basically, yeah, slightly tubby. That's good. That really, really is punchy and good. Right. Let's go flick over to the forge to see if the forge feels nice on the Hot Metal Pro. Well, it will do, definitely, because obviously this coming is forged and this is cast, but the sound this makes is awfully nice for a game improvement iron. Okay, have flipped data sets now. We have got a pink line coming for the JPX923 Forge. Now, okay, the main differences between the Hot Metal we've just hit, Hot Metal Pro, and the Forge is looks when it comes to just by looking at it. Your top lines are marginally thinner, the soles are thinner, blade lengths are, well, I don't know. I mean, I'd say there's not much in it whatsoever. There's probably a tiny little bit there. And offset. Yeah, it's nice. There's hardly any differences. Hot Metal Pro and Forge are so close together when it comes to its looks. Right, so let's go give this one a hit, because yeah, down by the golf ball, this one is my best looking one, I must admit. So before anyone has a little chat about things, KBS dollar taper in this Forge and KBS Tour stiff, 120 gram stiff, both the same. And if you look at the EI curves, guys, before everyone goes crazy on the old comments, they're not the same shaft. Basically, there's exactly the same bend profile. So exactly the same. So there's nothing at all. I must admit, the Hot Metal Pro, the lie angles are a bit bad. Hashtag media samples, where the Forge are slightly better. But yeah, this is my favorite one to look at. Right, 179 yards still. And now we've got 30 degrees of loft. So we've got 1.5 degrees less loft. Let's go see how it gets on. I tell you what, there's not that much in it. Oh, hello. Oh, green goes the wrong way. I thought I could be the first one in on camera for a while. The sound, it's very much so closer to the Hot Metal Pro. There's not a lot in it. There really isn't. I mean, there is a small difference in audible noise in here. Obviously, I can critique the difference between acoustics quite easily, and there's not much in it. There really isn't. I mean, this is softy forged, yes, but it's chromoly forged, so it's a similar thing. I mean, the Hot Metal Pro and the Hot Metal series have got nickel chromoly. This has got forged chromoly, so it's still chromoly. But it's just a different manufacturing process. This is my favourite looking one, yes, because it has got slightly advanced, just tiny pips. I mean, I'll stick on the screen if I can do the differences in between top lines and sole thicknesses and offset and stuff like that when it comes to the Hot Metal Pro and then the Forge. So there's not much really in it. There's a huge difference in other ones, but there's not much in this one. But yeah, the feedback you get from Strike is marginal. But it is nicer. It's marginally nicer. I need to stick it left edge for it to go in. No, I'm only joking. That's two really good shots from the Forged, I must admit. Or not from the Forged, I mean, again, I'm doing it, not the Forged, but it's really feeling quite nice. 1.36 efficiency. There you go, that'll give you an idea. That was a fairly decent go at getting the ball to the hole. And it's 1.36. I can foresee there'll be a slight difference in raw when it comes to like face potential, definitely. This isn't as springy as the JPX. The JPX, sorry, the Hot Metal Pro. There's got more of a springy face. But this, I would say marginally, is nicer to hit. I mean, that's not plumb on. That's not, that is off the bottom of the golf club. That's gonna lose a little bit of distance there. But decent go at it. 1.34 low on the face, yeah, as you can see there. But again, that's good. I'll hit another one because I did hit 4, I think, with the Hot Metal Pro. That's low on the face. So you can feel the difference there. The sound isn't quite so soft because you hit it low on the face. But like for like, I would say definitely the Forged sounds nicer, feels slightly nicer, looks slightly nicer. The interesting thing will be the forgiveness side. So when you hit it all over the face, how much difference has the old Hot Metal Pro got over the Forged? We'll do that one after this last one from the Forged. Face open. That's going to be doing well. A nibble. Go on, nibble it. Nibble the green. Nibble the green. Yep. So that's me, not the golf club. I mean, that was a decent hit, but just when you leave the face three open, you're risking missing the green. It's done really well. What's efficiency? 1.36, yeah, because it's got, I mean, I banged it within reason, very small amount of millimeters, right out the middle. So, yeah, there is slight difference when it comes to sound, feel. Slight differences in looks, yes, but the main thing for the average golfer will be understanding how it works when you hit it off the middle, and you don't hit there all the time. We do hit it heel, low, toe, and all that lot. So let's go hit both of them equally wonky and see which one wins. Okay guys, so after hitting a load of shots with the JPX923 Hot Metal Pro and also the Forge to see if we can pick a winner between these two, because remember, these are the bridging irons, so you're going to have the individual that's thinking, well, I'm getting a new set of irons, but oh, I do miss the middle a little bit, so could I get away with the Forge? Is it forgiving enough, or shall I go the Hot Metal Pro because it's going to be more helpful and it's the best looking one of the lot? And yeah, so we're going to go critique the differences between the two. Now there is 1.5 degrees loft difference static between these golf clubs. So let's have a look at how well they all did. Let's go Hot Metal Pro first. Ball speed on average 126.6 miles an hour, launching at 18.5 degrees, spinning at 5.3, which isn't bad considering it's a 28.5 degree 7-iron. It's going 38 yards in the air, which is nice and high, and 49.2 degrees ascending angle, which is always lovely because it's obviously past 45 degrees, and a carry of 182. Now that's obviously made up of mishits as well in there, a few mishits left and right and here and there, so you're going to be moving the averages down fractionally. It's a long iron. If you compare that to the Forge, straight away, ball speed 125.3 against 126.6, 1.3 miles an hour difference, but then again, we've got that loft difference, remember. Same length of golf club, same length of shaft. Launching at 18.3 rather than 18.5. Yeah, 0.2 of a degree. Spinning at 5.6, which is 300 RPM higher, and going 37 yards in the air and 48.9 degrees. So within 1 yard or so height, which is nothing. And then 178 yards carry. So again, it's slightly shorter by 4 yards. That's going to be made up potentially of loft, yes, we'll go find out. And obviously the springy face when it comes to Hot Metal Pro. Hot Metal Pro first, 92.1 miles an hour, efficiency 1.37. Again, we were seeing 1.38s, 1.39s in the on-camera testing, but again, I'm not specifically trying to mishit it. That efficiency there is made up from good shots and a small number of bad shots as well. will blur the averages slightly, but not too much. 2.9 degrees down, 0.2 across, 0.3 open, so 0, 0. Don't look at the lie, hashtag media samples. Loft 24.7 degrees, 6 mil toe, 1 mil low, and also standard deviation as well, so you can see the variance of how much I'm moving. Straight away over to the forged. 92.4 miles an hour rather than 92.1, so 0.3 of a mile an hour in it. Efficiency is 1.36, 3.4 degrees on attack angle, 0.1, 0.6, so baby little fade, like tiny amounts. Lie's getting better. Yeah, it's still not good. And 25.3 degrees of loft against 24.7, so there's 1.5 degrees of static loft difference. I was delivering 0.6 of a degree of actual dynamic loft difference, only 0.6, so technically I was de-lofting the forged by 0.9 of a degree, so nearly 1 degree, and if I hadn't have done, then that 178 may have travelled into 176 and a bigger gap appear. But within reason, I'm trying to get these golf clubs as like for like as I possibly can. If there was more of a gap difference in loft, I wouldn't be able to do it and keep delivery the same. But because it's only 1.5 degrees, I can try and change my delivery slightly, so I can keep every other metric as best I can do exactly the same and just measure like for like differences. But 5 mil toe, 1 mil low against 6 mil toe, 1 mil low, so on average slightly better strike by 1 mil. And you also got standard deviation on there as well for everyone to have a look at. We are comparing two different irons, so effectively we want to keep standard deviation as similar as possible, so we're not mishitting something much worse than the other and given a kind of weird result. Right, so you can have a look at the differences when it comes to the graphical thing, because that's probably a lot easier for people to understand and people to critique. And you can see there that yes, the yellow does go further than the purple. However, the purple, you could argue, doesn't quite go as far, but it is slightly better when it's front to back consistency of dispersion. Same left and right. Remember guys, left and right, generally speaking, the golf club can influence left and right, but by far you are the biggest denominator when it comes to going left and right. A golf club can definitely help in front to back consistency depending on many different factors, but you could argue on this one maybe the Hot Metal Pro, being that chromoly, super springy chromoly face, is fractionally less consistent front to back. There's not much in it, it's like tiny amounts, but you can visibly see. And as you can see by obviously the club side of things, within reason, they are matched identically. There's not much in it, let's be honest. Right, critique these, because these are the fun ones. I've got some mishits collected to see if the difference between the Hot Metal Pro or Forged is worth getting one or the other. So we'll go the Forged first, and you've got here 91.9 miles an hour, 1.8 from the inside, 0.5 close, so kind of little baby draw dynamics. But when you hit 8 mil low, 20 mil heel, she is dropping in efficiency, definitely 1.24. You can see that no golf club generally likes low heel shots. The only one that I found so far that does really well out of low heel shots, as in like really well at low heel shots, is the TaylorMade Stealth Iron, and that's because I think it just sacrifices toe strikes because of the weight has been taken out of the toe because of that carbon badge at the back, which does have the effect of making the heel nicer to hit or better to hit, although generally speaking I would much rather someone hit 20 mil toe than 20 mil heel. Why? Because you haven't got a hosel out with 20 mil toe, and plus the toe through the face rotating going around like that way is actually moving faster. Win-win. Never hit the heel. If you then go over to the Hot Metal Pro, and this obviously is nowhere near the same as 20 mil heel. It's a 10 mil heel, so half the distance and 4 mil low, so 14 mil off gross. It's 1.34 efficiency, so is it dropping? Yes it is. Obviously we're talking 1.38 or so being its average, 1.37, 1.38, but it's still got 108 yards carry. So it's doing fairly well. Just don't move any more than 10 mil. After 10 mil, 12 mil, you're kind of, luck of the draw on that. If we go to the Forged, let's go have a look at some of the interesting toe shots. Let's compare the Forged against the Hot Metal in toe. So the Forged, 91.6 miles an hour, 0.8 from the inside, 0 face. It's 14 mil toe. It's toey, but not bad toe. It's a mid-toe shot. It's not middle, it's toey. 1.35 efficiency, done really well. That's kept efficiency well up there and hasn't hardly lost a yard at all. from a 14mm toe, because that power frame or stability chassis or V chassis or whatever they want to call it nowadays, it's that weight that's whacked out on that toe to promote the forgiveness of a toe strike. It works just brilliantly. If we flick that over to the Hot Metal Pro, we have a path slightly across and face slightly closed. Effectively, that's me aiming to the left a little bit too much. That's missed 8.4 yards left. Should have done. That's my fault, not the golf club's. 4mm toe, 14mm low, so effectively slightly worse than the forged. Yet efficiency is 1.37, carrying 182. That has done amazingly well. These JPXs, doesn't matter if it's hot metal or hot forged, it doesn't matter. Of mediocre toe strikes, they're exactly the same. They're just as good as each other. Right, let's go a little bit more toey. The forged, 93.9 miles an hour, clubhead speed 0.7, 0.2 closed, 1mm low, 19 toe. 19mm toe, so 20mm toe. Yes, that's now dropping efficiency 1.32. It's still doing really well at 177, but I'm having to swing faster to get there. So that's still a reason why it's going 177, because I'm swinging faster to get it. So we are now starting to lose a little bit, but it's 20mm away from the middle. It's still doing really, really well. Right, here we go. Hot Metal Pro time. 20mm toe, 1mm high, so 20mm toe. We are talking the same difference as the forged, yet 93.1 miles an hour, 0.6 on the inside, 0.1 closed, 1.36 efficiency. Hot Metal Pro wins. So if you're going to go extreme, yeah, Hot Metal Pro wins. Absolutely. So if you're really bad at striking, there is no question mark over which one you should go for. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Hot Metal Pro. If you're nominal, if you're dossing around the middle and you hit the occasional bad one, as everyone does, you could go either or. However, there was one here for a bit of fun, and I will put it up there. The Hot Metal Pro, 91 miles an hour, 90.8 miles an hour, 0.9 from the inside, 0.7 close, so perfect little baby draw. 7mm low, 18 toe, so 25mm away from middle. And I captured this one. This one felt terrible. However, I'll pop on the screen there exactly what happened when I hit this. You can see by the trace that it went and done sort of fairly well, considering. Okay, that's luck of the draw. Okay, I've delivered really well and I've just mishit it. That's a perfect capture for why. This is how I try and do things, and that's why I do things when it comes to capturing mishits, because when people actually mishit, they don't purposely deliver something different and then mishit. They deliver normally, they just mishit the golf club. So capturing how a golf club reacts, how the face twists open, if it does or it doesn't, how it puts gear effect on the golf ball, if it does or it doesn't, how much distance it drops off, if it does or it doesn't. These kind of ideas are the reason why I do what I do. And you can see there, the Hot Metal Pro, when you start moving it to extreme locations, you are still going to get stability from the head. Now, are you going to lose distance? Of course you are. That's lost about 10 yards of carry from that. And it's a slightly slower swing as well. But it's kept its line to a point it still went in. Yeah. So, again, conclusion of it would be, if you're going to be a person that's going to need absolute maximum forgiveness, then by all means it's a non-starter, Hot Metal Pro. If you're someone who doesn't move around the face that much and you think you can get away with a forged, or you want a slightly softer feeling, nicer looking, slightly slimmer profile golf club, you can go get away with getting the forged. I would still test them both, because until you actually physically test them, you don't really know which one you're going to suit day in, day out. Make sure you get custom fit. Remember, these are Mizuno, so you should be getting checked with the Mizuno Swing DNA analyzer to get your shaft bang on when it comes to bend profile, rather than fitters basically going la 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 in the dark, or what I used to call bumper car fitting, where you didn't have no tools, so you used to go give them one shaft and see how they would get on, and they'd go over this way, so you give them another shaft, completely polar opposites, and see how they got on. You kind of dong 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 like that, bumper car fitting. Nowadays it's done within 3 swings, much easier. So, hope you liked the video. If you did, go on thumbs up. YouTube liked it, so do I. Next to it is a little red button. That's a subscribe button. If you could click that one, that'd be brilliant. It's great for the channel. And also next to it is a bell icon. That is a notification bell which will notify you next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.